Often people think about building an app from one little gem of an idea that they're excited about. You have to ask yourself the question behind that, which is, why does that gem of an idea exist in the first place? What is the user goal that we're going to achieve? The best way to start defining an app is to define why it exists in the first place. What are the big goals and constraints that the app needs to operate within?
First, we'll figure out some high-level goals for the app overall. Then we'll decide on what users are going to use the app. We'll define personas for each of those users and then list the goals for each of those users. This works best as a team activity. All you'll need is a whiteboard or a big space and some post-it notes and our Google template.
In this ideation step, we're just going to go hog wild, putting all of our goals and dreams up on the whiteboard. This is the most chaotic part of the process because you're just putting everything up there.
Okay, to explain how this works, I'm going to make up an example. Let's say a mobile-first platform that connects people who want to buy plants and people who have plants in their garden that they're willing to sell. Sounds like an app, right? First, we're going to lay out some really big mission-level goals for the app.
So in our example, we're like, our idea is an app that helps people sell plants to people near them. The goal for creating that app is that we want more people to distribute plants to one another. We want to make a bunch of money from clipping the ticket, selling plants. We want to interact with plants on a daily basis for a job. Those are goals. The app is the thing that satisfies those goals.
For example, the app should work on mobiles for gardeners with a phone. Beginner gardeners buy from experienced gardeners who, live near them. It's going to need to do some clever stuff with locations so people can interact in real life together. And we'll manage payments within the app so that people don't have to use cash. Okay, next we're going to lay out all of the users of the app. Now, it might not seem like it, but most apps have a lot of users. For example, the first-time user, a returning user, the systems administrator or editor. There's quite a lot, even in a simple application. You can add as many user types as you want, but remember to be specific about the format. ASA, I need, so I can, and a pain and a gain. This persona format goes like this. As a type of user, I need to do something in an app so I can achieve a real-world goal. I have a pain that I'm suffering and a gain that the app gives me to get past that pain. For example, as a plant buyer who's new to the app, I need to find and buy plants online so that I can own more plants. My pain might be that I don't have time to go to the nursery, and the gain is I get to sit up in bed looking for plants on my phone.
One of the reasons we use the ASA I need so I can format, or story cards, is so that we have clarity in what it actually means. If you say, it can sell some plants, that's not functionality, that's like an idea. As a new user, I can search for plants so I can buy a plant is a very crisp definition of a bit of functionality.
Next, we want to make a wish list of all of the things those users want. Two obvious goals for our plant buyer is to search for plants on a map or buy a plant in the app. Do this again for each user type using a different colored post-it note, and then do as many post-it notes as possible. A funny thing about user types is generally there's a primary user, and then there's more complicated users that can do extra stuff. So in our example, there's the plant buyer, and everyone can buy plants and look for them on the map. A plant seller can do everything that the plant buyer can, plus one or two other things, like sell plants or message users. The site administrator can do everything the two previous tiers can, plus super duper admin stuff like run reports or look at analytics. While you're adding user goals, you might suddenly realize that there's a site goal that you need to update. So just write a post-it note and add it to the list. While it's good to decide on user personas up front, you can totally add more user goals at any point through this process as you learn more about how the app might work.
At the end of this step, you will have a whole bunch of goals and an understanding of who your users are. The valuable thing about this is that in the group of people that are doing it, you can be like, we all agree this is a good idea, let's scope this out.
We also want to get everything up on the post-it notes so we can see just how big the app is.
It also means that you've given a chance for the quiet people in the room to write stuff on a post-it note and put it up on the board so that nothing is left out. We'll refine it later, but this is the part where all voices are heard.